Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com. Please make sure you go to the CSR Wrestling channel on iTunes now. Give it a nice rating. Leave some good comments. Let us get a little more popular in that world. Watch us on there. You can watch us on YouTube. And, of course, WrestleZone.com, our #1 home. Eisenberg, LaBar, and the birthday boy this weekend, Mr. Brian Ghoulish.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Brian.
Feeling 33.
Rocking your new David Allen
My new
suit.
David Allen, my spiffy.
Looks good. You've been doing some chest?
Got the Bret Hart look going, got the Titus O'Neil look going, and you got the Brian Ghoulish look going.
So he doesn't need to copy anybody else.
don't.
That's what he's probably saying.
I wasn't copying. I didn't realize that.
A little Florida
Neither
Gator
did his,
action.
I know. I got in here. I was like, oh, wow, orange. The orange with blue. Works.
Pops.
Well, it's hard to figure out. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
pops.
Enough fashion.
Just think. I'm a year older than WrestleMania.
How about that?
How about it?
Wow, I'm not.
All right, guys. Let's. Speaking of WrestleMania, obviously we know both Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose will be at WrestleMania, but of course we wait to see what they will be doing because at Fastlane coming up in a few weeks at Cleveland, they will be involved in the main event along with Brock Lesnar, winner getting to take on Triple H for the world title. Now, many of us would think foregone conclusion is that Roman Reigns wins and goes and fights Triple H one-on-one. That still is probably the leading idea, but WWE has planted the seed, as we figured they might, about the Brotherhood being broken, from Stephanie McMahon and her segment with them backstage, even to WWE.com hosting a poll asking if fans thought that the Brotherhood, if there might be a chance of a split. Yeah. And the last time I looked, the poll was leading with the Brotherhood is so strong the bonds won't be broken.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. So guys, let's talk. Is it the right move to do a split between these two at Fastlane?
Eventually, someone's got to be, in the words of Stephanie McMahon, Marty Jannetty, and play that role. But with these two guys, no one's Marty Jannetty. They're both Shawn Michaels. They both will have the potential for the next 10, 12 years, however long in the WWE, as long as they stay healthy. These are young guys who will continue to climb the system. And don't forget, as you always said, we're setting up for WrestleMania 32. Was supposed to be maybe a triple threat match between the Shield for the title. Maybe we push that back to SummerSlam, because by that time Seth Rollins should be back. But I think those three, you have to split them up, but you're not going to have any dissension. Yes, they're strong, but
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of separation between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and they're going to brawl, and it's not going to be just them two against Brock Lesnar. You're going to get that face-off where the crowd's cheering for Ambrose and booing for Roman Reigns, and you're going to get that. I think it's a stretch to think that this split is the right time right now. I think you can tease it a little bit, but if they really do want to make something interesting, you have to separate Dean Ambrose. You can't tease it right now for the next couple of weeks, which is what they're going to do. He has to be a complete full-fledged heel. You have to immediately just go right off the gates with Ambrose, but I don't think they're going to do that, because he has the most organic and natural emotion from the crowd than anybody on the roster, aside from potentially Brock Lesnar.
I think the only way a split would be the best call, meaning Dean Ambrose goes beyond just fighting Reigns in the match, but brutally attacking him and basically ending their friendship, their brotherhood. I think the only way that works is if they want Dean Ambrose in the Mania match. Obviously, anything else, it would just be weird if Roman Reigns wins, and whether it's that night or even the next night, if Ambrose crashes the celebration and it's still Roman Reigns versus Triple H, but then you're gonna have this Ambrose thing, that would be odd. So if they have the idea that they want to make a triple threat main event for the title and have Ambrose in it, for whatever reason, maybe they think it stacks the odds more for Roman Reigns and it's in theory helps him get over more, then that would make sense. But otherwise, I think I think you let the two of them they both want to be the #1 contender, but at the end of the day, they still shake hands.
And what happened is if Dean Ambrose gets that victory, well, Roman Reigns can still say, I have my rematch clause, here's the contract, blah, blah, blah. He's never actually had that rematch yet. So WWE could just go back that way, and I don't like that idea, because what they always do with it, and you guys know, is, my legal team. Come on, it's fake. Everybody understands that.
And here's my problem with, if you make Dean Ambrose a heel, you have him interacting with Brock Lesnar, as we saw on Raw, and with that, he gets in the ring, and Brock's not getting a heel reaction. Brock's a face, and Dean Ambrose isn't getting a heel reaction. He's a face, so I don't know how you can pit them two against each other. You're getting the face-face thing, and it's just not working. Dean Ambrose would have to do something very special to get heel heat.
I'll tell you that, just real quick, that was Dean Ambrose's best mic work.
Yeah,
post the Shield days.
It was, and I think what WWE needs to come to their conclusions are, what are the matches, because I'm very certain that they're still not sure what's going to happen at WrestleMania. I don't think they have a plan for what Ambrose is going to do in Reigns. I think each week goes by, it's altering, it's changing. So let me ask you this quickly: who do you think Dean Ambrose faces at WrestleMania?
I don't have an answer for that, and you're exactly right.
And that's the problem.
You're exactly right. I talked to a couple of people this week, one of which in WWE, and they bluntly said, for the first week of March, there is a whole
February.
lot more.
They ain't March yet. That'd
First
be
week
a
of
big
February.
problem.
For the first week of February, there is a whole lot of question marks still to be filled in with WrestleMania internally that they have not figured out. So that's
and as long
telling.
as he doesn't go through any ladders like he did last year in the IC title match where he almost killed himself, let's be a little more smart with one of our top talents right now,
And
especially when everyone's injured.
And I think Dean Ambrose is at the perfect opportunity now. I've been critical of Ambrose, and you know that, Justin. I've wanted to see that big wow moment. He deserves that wow moment now at WrestleMania because he's been the definition of consistency. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got that one-on-one singles match for the IC title against an AJ Styles or against maybe not Kevin Owens, but somebody is a big name that can really go as well as Dean Ambrose
How
can
about
go.
the intrigue if Dean Ambrose would have been Money in the Bank right now instead of Sheamus winning it, and then you have Roman Reigns and Triple H, and then here comes Dean Ambrose to repeat what Seth Rollins did last year.
That definitely would have been a better scenario than Sheamus.
That's true.
I don't think anybody can argue with that. Plenty more to talk about this weekend. We're coming up. We're going to do our social media Saturday segment and talk about Bret Hart, talk about favorite matches, favorite moments. Of course, unfortunate news this past week about the diagnosis of his prostate cancer. So we'll talk about Bret Hart. We'll take your tweets and comments from social media. And then still, we're going to wrap the week up, guys, and talk about The Undertaker. We talked about him a few weeks ago, but we're going to talk even more because the rumors continue.
Yes, and I tell you that a former world champion will face The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
That's called a tease.
Woo!